Hello, everybody. This is Mrs. Harris. Welcome to Algebra 1. I should say pre-advanced Algebra 1. I'm probably going to make a lot of mistakes and say pre-AP because that used to be the name of it, and now they've changed it to pre-advanced. And it's like teaching an old dog new tricks. It's going to be hard. But anyway, I want to apologize before we get started. This is a PowerPoint that I kind of spend most of the class going through and then answering a lot of questions as we do it. So this will be a fairly long video. Most of the videos in your lessons will be much shorter than this. But anyway, let's go do this PowerPoint. Talk about everything we need to know. So anyway, this is Pre-Advanced Algebra 1. Hopefully that's the class you thought you signed up for. If you don't think you belong in Pre-Advanced Algebra 1, you might want to talk to your parents about it. It's for people who like math, okay? So if you're a mathy person like me and you're a math geek and you just like it, math is easy for you, this is where you need to be, okay? Tutoring, I'm available every day except Tuesday. So before school or after school, and I know you guys are at home. These are the times when kids would stop by my room and ask for help. So if you're at home, you can email me during these time periods because I won't be teaching classes right now during those times, and I can respond to your emails usually fairly quickly. I'll kind of keep an eye on my computer for that. So anyway, there's my email address, brenda.harris@wacoisd.org. And then your counselor is Christine Williams, and that's christine.williams@wacoisd.org. So let's move on. Now remember, you're watching this as recording, so you can stop and go back and look at things, write things down, whatever you need to. So here's some information about me. I went to Texas A&M, the best university ever. Okay. I will tell you though that I almost flunked out my freshman year because I didn't know how to study and I didn't know how to ask questions and things because I was so shy. And I went to a school where I made straight A's and never had to study or take homework home or anything. And so it was just so easy that when I got to college, everybody seemed like really smart. And I just didn't know to ask questions and stuff. And so I almost flunked out my freshman year before I finally realized, oh, I just need to go talk to my teachers and ask questions. So that's what I'm telling you guys now. If you have questions, talk to your teachers, okay? It's not that we're not smart. It's just that we didn't know we needed to ask questions. So there's nothing wrong with asking questions. I love to garden. So there's a picture of me in my favorite overalls and my dog Shiloh. I'm very outdoorsy. I like to do a lot of adventure stuff and athletic things. So that's my husband in the middle there. And that's my husband and me skating. We used to do skate races. We don't race anymore, but we still skate and riding bikes. And the lower right-hand corner was a picture of kind of a ropes course that we were doing up in Colorado, which is really fun. Okay, here are some goals. I hope these are going to be your goals too. I'm pretty sure all of you want to graduate from high school. I'm pretty sure your parents want you to graduate from high school. So you need to know the rules of the game. So no matter what you're doing, know the rules. The rules to graduate from high school are you need 26 credits. Now, how do you get a credit? I'm glad you asked that. You get a credit by completing one whole course all year and passing it, both the fall semester and the spring semester. So that gives you one full credit. Now, they break it up into two separate semesters. So the first semester, if you pass it with a 70 or higher, you get a half a credit. You pass the second semester with a 70 or higher, you get another half a credit. So altogether, you get a credit for the whole year. Now, it's possible for you to just get a half a credit if you only pass one semester and not both of them. So you will see some people with half credits. Anyway, those 26 credits are made up of 4 years of math. So you got to pass 4 different math classes, 4 different English classes, 4 different science classes, 4 different social studies classes, preferably one every year, because if you fail one, that means you got to double up or take it during the summer school. I know none of you guys are going to fail them, so please stay on top of things and make sure that you ask questions when you need to, right? We are here to help, but we're not mind readers. Now, other classes, that makes 16 classes or 16 credits with your core classes. So you need 26 credits, so there's another 10 credits you have to get someplace. Those are made up of your foreign language. You have to have 2 years of that, so that's another 2 credits. You need some PE and athletic kind of credits, and then also just some elective credits and things. Now, if you notice, if you go 4 years and there's 8 classes a day, that means you could have 32 credits. And a lot of kids usually have close to that, but you only need 26 at the bare minimum to graduate. Most people will graduate with a lot more than that. Now, there are some students who will choose to graduate in 3 years. And if you're really ambitious, you can do that, but that means you're taking some classes during the summer school to make up those extra math and English classes and stuff, or you're doubling up during the school year and things like that. So there are ways to do it, but it takes a lot of work. So if you're willing to do that, you can absolutely do that. Let's see, what else do I talk about? Oh yeah, besides the credits. So let's say you graduate, you've got all of your credits, you've got 26 credits, and you say, okay, I'm ready to graduate. In addition to the credits here at school, you also have to pass 5 STAR tests, okay? Only 5. There's one for Algebra 1. And notice that is the only math STAR test in high school. That's the only one you take. So this year, since you're in Algebra 1, next May, the beginning of May, you will take an Algebra 1 STAR test, okay? You will pass it without any doubt. If you are attending every day and doing your daily work, I have never had an advanced student fail the STAR test, okay? It's just not going to happen. If you're here every day working. Now, if you're gone for 2 or 3 months off in La La Land, then yeah, that might happen. But if you're here doing work every day, you're going to pass it. However, our goal is not just to pass it because we are math people. We want to make an A or a B on that STAR test. And so that's like kind of getting commended or getting the meets level. So we're going to shoot for more than just a passing, which would be like making a C. We're all going to make a C, absolutely, but we're going to shoot for higher because we can do that. We're math. Okay, then you're going to also take an English 1 test. Since you're in English 1 this year, you will also take the English 1 STAR test this year. Some of you are in biology this year. So if you are taking biology this year, you will also take a biology STAR test, which means you will have 3 of your STAR tests done at the end of this year. Okay, if you're not taking biology this year, whatever year you're taking biology is the year that you will then take that one. Now, again, I'm not expecting any of you guys to fail your STAR test. However, there are some kids that don't pass them for whatever reason. Maybe they woke up sick that day and they tried to take it anyway and they weren't feeling good. There are makeup tests that you can take, one during the summer, one during the next year, so we can get those back on you as soon as possible. However, we have some kids that have these hanging over them right up until graduation, and sometimes they don't graduate because they never pass their STAR test. I'm not expecting any of that from you guys, but just know that that does happen. So then English 2 is what you take your sophomore year, and you will take that STAR test at the end of your sophomore year. U.S. history is generally taken your junior year, so you will take that final STAR test your junior year. And then that way you can enjoy your senior year just taking classes. All right, so there's that to graduate from high school. So that means your other goal should be to pass Algebra 1 this year and to pass the STAR test. And bigger goal is after you graduate from high school is what are your goals and dreams? You know, what colleges or technical schools or going into the military or going into a career, owning a business or something. We're trying to prepare you for that. So that's what this whole thing is geared for, is getting you ready for whatever you want to do in the future. And we'll talk more about that. Okay, here are the specific rules, because again, I told you, you got to know the rules of the game to play the game well. So each 6 weeks grade is made up of daily work and test grades. So they're going to take all your daily work and quizzes and things like that and average all those grades up. There'll be a bunch of daily work every 6 weeks. That will be 1 grade. And then you're going to take how many tests you have. Usually there's only 2 or 3 tests per 6 weeks. And then they'll take those grades and average them up. And then those 2 grades get averaged together because they're both worth 50%. And then that will give you your 6 weeks grade. That grade needs to be 70 or higher, okay? Again, I don't expect you guys to do this, but biology is a tough subject. So those of you in biology, you're going to have to really, pay attention and do this because a lot of kids struggle with that biology class. So if that's the case, make sure you're talking to your teacher, going to tutorials, asking for help, okay? So there's your 6 weeks grade. The semester is made up of 3 6 weeks. So they're going to take those 3 6 weeks grades. Let's say you made a 71 6 weeks, an 81 6 weeks, and a 91 6 weeks. They average those 3 together, divide by 3, and your average for the semester is 80. However, there's one more thing that goes into that average. They're going to give you an exam over the whole first semester. So Algebra 1 is going to take an exam. Again, we're going to be doing this all year long and reviewing it all year long, so it should not be a big deal. You should be able to pass it fairly easily because we're algebra and we're math people. We're going to do well. I just know it. Anyway, so that exam counts 20% of your semester average. So when you get that average of your 3 6 weeks, they're going to multiply that by 0.8, 80%. And then they're going to multiply your semester exam by 0.2 or 20%. And then they take those 2 numbers and add them together to get your 100% grade. So for those of you that are maybe in a subject that you're going to struggle with, let's say you make 70, 70, 70 for the 3 6 weeks average. That means your 3 6 weeks average is 70. And you're thinking, whew, man, I just passed the class, I'm good. But then you have to take the exam. What if this is a class you struggle in and you don't pass the exam, like maybe you make a 50 or 60 on that exam? When they average 20% of that into your lovely 70, does it stay at 70? No, it brings it down to about 67 or 68. Did you pass? No. Do you get credit? No. So that's why, especially in the subjects that you struggle with, get those 6 weeks averages as high as you can so that if you do poorly on the exam, you got a little buffer. If you can have an average of 75 or 76, you can lose a few points off that exam and still be okay with passing the semester. So never shoot for just a 70, always shoot for 75 or higher. Now, while we're still talking about grades before we talk about how to lose credit, some of you guys are smarty pants. Y'all like grades. I love making good grades. I was always shooting for 100, 100, 100 in all my classes. There, you can letter, it's like get a letter jacket, just like sports people do. You can letter in academics, and they're called academic achievers. And I think the first time that you're going to be available to get into that group is the end of your sophomore year. And then to do that, all of your grades, they're going to average them all up for your whole freshman year and up to the first half of the sophomore year. And if that average, I think it's around 96 or so, it's a pretty high average. But if you can keep your average at 96 or higher for all of your classes, you become an academic achiever and you get a letter jacket and all that kind of fun stuff. But anyway, there's all sorts of things. I'll find out more about that and let you know. Now, you may have said, "Ooh, I passed, I have an 80 or I've got a 90 in this class. I got a 95 in this class. I'm doing great." And then you find out you lost your credit. You can lose the credit if you don't come to class. Or for those of you at online, if you don't do your attendance stuff. So we're going to talk about how to do your attendance. So you can lose your credit by having more than 10 absences in a semester. Okay. So some of the kids are at school, they will, and then we're talking about school absences. This is if you're going to school activities like, football games and volleyball games, or going to band competitions or choir events and things, those are excused absences. But if you have absences where you just didn't feel like coming to school or skipped or whatever, or you came to school and you skipped a class or two during the day, that particular class, if you have more than 10 unexcused absences, you don't get the credit. Now, they will give you an opportunity to make it up, but that means coming to Saturday schools and hanging out here for hours and hours at Saturday school to make up all those times. So don't do that. Don't let your peers pressure you into coming with them and skipping classes. They're going to tell you, "Oh, it's not a big deal at all. We do it all the time." Well, of course it's not a big deal to them, because some of these kids, instead of having 8 credits at the end of their freshman year, because it's going to be some of your sophomores and juniors that are going to tell you it's no big deal. Instead of having 8 credits, they came out of their freshman year with like 3 or 4 credits because they were skipping and they don't have credits. They're going to get to be a senior and have just a handful of credits and not graduate. So don't follow them, and don't let them lead you into doing any drugs or alcohol and stuff like that. You know better. Okay, moving on. Here's my syllabus. And this is also in the Canvas under the, not resources, but under the welcome part, I think. It's got my contact information there, my school phone number with the extension, my email again, the tutoring times again. Let's see how the grades are done. We talked about that. Online work, obviously you guys can, I remember talking to you about attendance. I think it's on here. Anyway, you've got online work here. So you guys obviously are doing it at home and then submitting online. But even the kids here at school, if they're absent one day, they can just jump online and do it at home online also. So everything is submitted online, whether they're at school or not. Late work, let's say there was some day when you were really sick and you could not do the work for whatever that day, then you can still make it up right up until the end of the 6 weeks, because this is a crazy situation. I don't count points offered, things being late. So if you missed September 10th for whatever reason and never got that assignment done, right up until the end of the 6 weeks, you can still do that assignment and turn it in. Now, once the 6 weeks is over with, those grades are history and they're gone, okay? And we start over with new grades. So anyway, just be aware that you can always turn in late work. Calculators in school, we're gonna use the TI Inspired calculators, and then those used at home, we should, at some point, they're going to get an Inspired calculator on your laptop. I don't know how or when that's gonna happen. We don't need them for the first 6 weeks anyway, so at some point, we're gonna get those on your laptops. Supplies, at home, you just need a pencil and paper to write on, because you're going to be doing all your work on paper for the most part. Some things you will type into the computer, but most of the work will be done on your paper, just like you were here at school. You're going to hold your picture up to your computer and take a picture of it, and then that picture will be in your picture folder, and then you can just attach it to the submission that you're going to send in. So anyway, but we'll talk a little bit more about that. Parents can also contact me and send me an emails and tell me anything I need to know about you guys. If there's something I need to know, or contact me anytime, I'm always available. I wanted to go back and talk about attendance. Here we go. I knew I had a place in here for that. So most of these rules are for the kids here at school, but anyway, for you guys at home, do attend your classes every day. So again, those attendance rules are going to be in effect. So you want to make sure that you are signing in every day to get attendance, okay? Whether you do the assignment or not, you need to make contact with each of your teachers, okay? So that's 8 different teachers you need to make contact with every school day. You've got a 24-hour window to do that contact for attendance. Otherwise, you're considered absent in that class, okay? So how do you make contact? You can either email that teacher during that 24-hour period from midnight to midnight, okay? Or you can attend a Zoom meeting that teacher is having that day, or you can go into Canvas, into your classroom, like for mine, Algebra 1, and do your work and submit it. So going into Canvas and submitting work is like you were here, obviously. Doing a Zoom meeting with me would be you were here. If you contact me by email, then that's considered you're here. So make sure every one of your teachers is being contacted somehow. If for whatever reason you go into Canvas that day and you don't understand somebody's lesson, have no clue what to do, email that teacher that day and say, hey, I'm looking at this assignment, but I'm kind of lost, going to need some help. That will count as attendance, okay? It doesn't give you the grade for the assignment. It just counts that you were here. So now, second part of this then is being productive and work hard. Your grade depends on the work that you submit online, and everybody is submitting it online, so make sure you get your work done. For the most part, I do videos that show you exactly what to do every day and how I want it to look and what you should write on your paper. And then I'm going to give you the answer key so that you can check your work. Because if you're like me, I always, as soon as I did a problem, I wanted to know, did I get it right? Did I get it right? Did I make a mistake? And I was always like, oh, I forgot to do that. And it would kind of help me not do that again in the future. So most of the assignments, not all of them, but most of them I will have, if not all the answers, at least most of the answers. So you can kind of self-check. It's important for you to self-check. Do the work first, right? Because you got to be able to do it yourself on test day, and then check your answers to make sure that you got it right, okay? So you can always correct it and then turn it in with everything right. But I need you to do it first so that you can do it on test day, okay? Because the test grades are gonna be, well, they wind up being weighted a little bit more because there's so few of those. So you wanna make sure you know how to do it for test day. So submitting work, and then of course be kind, be polite. And I know all you guys are wanting to do that, but sometimes we forget, we get into teasing mode and stuff. Now, when you're doing the Zoom meetings with me and there's other people on that meeting with you, nice comments only, okay? Don't make fun of people, don't be mean, you know, don't be snarky, all those kinds of things that we kind of try to be funny with that are really not funny. So anyway, be nice. Y'all don't have to worry about food or drink because you're at home, and the kids here can't use cell phones or headphones, so you don't have to worry about that. My goals, this is what I'm trying to do. I want you to be confident in your math skills. I want you to pass Algebra 1 and understand everything. I want you to be ready for geometry and Algebra 2. I want you to pass your STAR test, not with just a C level passing, but with, you know, A's and B's. I want you to graduate from high school. We offer the tutoring and stuff. Just contact us, email us anytime you need help. If you need a job recommendation or a school recommendation for maybe you're taking some class somewhere during the summer or whatever, I'm happy to write recommendations for people, or just put me on the application or something. One of my goals is to create a safe place in my room. And I know you're not physically coming to my room, but I want you to still feel safe talking to me anytime you need to. Oh, excuse me. All the teachers are here to help you. Most of us keep lotions in our room for the kids, poster boards and supplies and markers and things. If you've got a project in another class and you need a poster board, you couldn't get to the store and get it, you come by my room, I give you what you need, and off you go and you do your project. So anyway, math is my happy place, and I hope it is yours too. We talked about this, but everything's available online. So whether you're absent or need more time, you can do it online at home. Oh, look, I have all these fancy little things in here. I didn't know I did. Okay, moving on. Here we go. This is your one assignment that you're doing right now, which is you're going to send an email. So hopefully you've gotten onto your school email to check that it works. If not, go to www.google.com and then look for the little link somewhere that says sign in, and you're going to sign in. Your school ID or your school email address is a lowercase s and then your ID number. Here I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Obviously that's fictitious, but it would be a lowercase s and your school ID at student.wacoisd.org. Okay, you should already have your password. It's the same password that you use to get onto your computer or your laptop that they gave you. So whatever your laptop password is the same for your Google account. And you use that Google password for everything. Okay. So what I want you to do is to log into your school email account. And again, you can pause this whenever you need to. And you go to the little compose link because you're going to compose a new email. You're going to send it to me, brenda.harris@wacoisd.org. I think as you start typing in the name, it should pop up with some possibilities, and you can just click on the one you want. So make sure you look for Brenda Harris, not a different Harris. Subject line is going to be about me. So just write about me in there, and then go into the body of the email and tell me your favorite meal or your favorite vacation or some favorite activities, and then send the email to me. Okay, I want to make sure that you know how to use your school email account. So if I receive an email from you, that is a 100 for your first daily grade. Okay, how easy is that? I told you this is not that bad, guys. We can do this. So make sure that we can get the technology going. Now, I know you've already logged into Canvas, otherwise you would not be looking at this PowerPoint. Okay, so the other thing that you need to do is there are contracts for all the pre-advanced classes. Okay, it's just one contract and it's good for all the pre-advanced classes. So I have a copy of it in under Canvas, under Algebra 1 class, under the welcome page. So if you go look at that, you will see a link to the pre-advanced contract, and right next to it will be a video link. And that video is what you need to watch first to see how to do this, okay? Because it's kind of tricky. You have to download the contract to your computer, and then you have to open it with Acrobat Reader, and then you have to fill in the stuff, and then you have to sign up for a signature certificate, okay? And so this video is going to show you step by step how to do that. And then once you get it all signed and stuff and saved back to your computer with a very special name for that, so again, this is all in the video, watch it, then you're going to send that signed contract back to your pre-advanced teachers. So you will send one email and just put all the teachers in there. You'll put, Brenda Harris, and you'll put biology teacher and English teacher, whatever pre-advanced classes you have, put those teachers' names as the recipient and just send that one email, and it will come to all of us, okay? So that's the two things. You're gonna send me just an email telling me about yourself, and then you're gonna go look at this pre-advanced contract and get that signed with your parents, get them to help you with it if you like, and then make sure make sure you read it before you sign it, right? You always need to read things that you sign, because it's telling you about how pre-advanced is a little bit more challenging classes and things to expect. Basically, you have 15 days to decide that you don't want to be in pre-advanced, okay? So before 15 days, you can get out of here pretty easily, go to a regular class. After that, it's like an act of Congress to get you out of this class. So, at least in a timely manner. So be sure and decide if this is really what you want. Talk to your parents about it. Seriously, if you like math, stay here. This is where you need to be, okay? If you're a mathy person, this is it. This is the place to be. This is the fun math place. So anyway, bye guys. Call me or not call me, but email me if you have questions.